It was an ordinary day when I received a letter from the Homeowners Association, HOA, demanding a fine for violating property regulations on my land. The letter was accompanied by a hefty fine, stating that my ranch, which had been operating peacefully for years, had violated HOA rules regarding the management of farming activities. The accusations were absurd. They claimed I hadn't adhered to regulations about farming and upkeep. The catch? I owned the land they were now policing, yet they seemed to have no idea about this fact. I was furious. The HOA had no right to dictate what I could or couldn't do with my property, and yet they had gone so far as to slap a fine on me. To add to the absurdity, they were attempting to control what I could do with my own land, enforcing rules they had no jurisdiction over. They had no idea who they were dealing with. My ranch was part of a family legacy that spanned generations, and I wasn't going to let anyone, especially an HOA, infringe on that. I decided to take action. First, I contacted the HOA directly and informed them of my ownership, reminding them that I was under no obligation to follow rules that didn't apply to me. The response was dismissive, almost as if they didn't believe me. They suggested I comply with their regulations, but that wasn't going to happen. So I took it a step further. I called a meeting with the HOA board and presented them with all the documents proving that I owned the land. I also informed them that I had no intention of allowing them to control or farm on my property. In fact, I had plans to increase my ranch's operations, and the last thing I wanted was for them to dictate how I ran things. The tension in the room was palpable, but I stood my ground. In the end, I banned the HOA from making any further attempts to farm on my land. They had overstepped their bounds, and I made sure they knew it. The fine was dropped, and the HOA realized that while they might control the neighborhood, they had no power over my property. I had successfully defended my rights and made it clear that no one would tread on my land without consequences.